Toyota Power Team moving forward Rockets pregame show. Emily Jones flying solo tonight, getting you set for tip-off of Game 14 of the Rockets season. Houston has struggled out of the gates due in large part to the absence of all-star guard Tracy McGrady. Right now, let's head to the Toyota Center and check in with Bart Ennis. And Bart, got my fingers crossed. Anything new on T-Mac?
Well, Emily, T-Mac was out here a moment ago shooting baskets outside the three-point arc, and he's just not getting any elevation when he jumps to shoot. And as a result, he hit a couple of shots, and then he missed about 5 from spots on the floor where he normally hits. T-Mac wants to play, but I think the club right now is taking a big-picture approach with him. They're going to be cautious this early in the season, and I would be shocked if he plays this game. I think it looks like right now he's going to miss his 8th game with that lower back injury. Also, point guard Rafer Alston is going to miss his 6th game with a leg injury tonight. But also, John Barry's going to miss tonight's game. He got hurt last night in Memphis. He's walking around today with a boot on his left foot. They're not real sure how serious that injury is, but he definitely is going to be out for tonight. Now, that's exactly what the Rockets don't need, is one less guy that can put the ball in the basket when teams collapse on Yao in the paint, which is exactly what I think the Chicago Bulls are going to do tonight. That's what the Grizzlies did last night in Memphis. So I think the Rockets are going to see more of that defensive strategy until they prove they can beat it.
Tonight's Toyota keys to the game. The Rockets need their big man, Yao Ming, to step up against an undersized Bulls team. Yao had 15 points, 10 of which came in the final quarter last night in that losing effort against Memphis. He also pulled down 12 rebounds. He'll need to do more of the same tonight. Welcome back to your Toyota pregame report. The Houston Rockets return to the Toyota Center tonight after playing 8 of their last 10 on the road. But there is a little rest for the weary. Houston will now play their next 4 at home, and that's spread out over the next 11 days. Time now to head out to the Toyota Center and join Bill Worrell and Clyde Drexler. Guys, 4 games in 6 nights now. How tired are these Rockets?
Well, I don't know about the Rockets, Emily, but these old broadcasters are pretty tired. This guy only does the home game, so he's got it made. He doesn't have to go out of town. But, you know, it's been a really difficult part of the schedule. It would be hard enough if you had the full complement of players, and you don't with Tracy and Rafe out.
Absolutely, Bill. As you said, this is a meaty part of the schedule, and it's the beginning of the year. And so it's a little frustrating because you always want to get off to a great start. But certainly with injuries and a meaty part of the schedule, we've had a few things go wrong. And although there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic, I think we have to get going in the right directions fairly soon.
And in 5 of the last 7 games, the Rockets have either had the lead or been tied for the lead in the 4th quarter. They haven't been able to get it done. Same old deal last night in Memphis. It's a recipe for disaster when you only shoot the ball 60 times. They had 60 field goal attempts, but 19 turnovers. And Clyde, you got to almost shoot 60% to win a game that way.
It puts a premium on every single shot, and I just think that it's the law of averages, Bill. The more you get up, the more that may go in. You got to get up 80, 90 shots a game to be successful on a nightly basis.
Yeah, the Chicago Bull team that we'll face tonight averages 82 shots a game. They're a young team. They like to run a lot. Houston's a half-court set team, so they don't shoot it very often, and they're not getting up enough shots and making enough to win these ball games. Now, we're going to talk about Chicago because they've got some great young players. Ben Gordon, 6th man of the year last year. Laurel Dang had 19 points last night in San Antonio. These young guys can get it.
They can get it done. They're coming off a very successful rookie campaign, and obviously they've continued to step up their game in their 2nd year. Here's Ben Gordon taking it to the basket with the teardrop that goes in. Here we are again. He's certainly capable of making the outside shot, as he shows here. He's just a very versatile guard that can get it done from both positions, the 1 and the 2. And now you have Laurel Dang, who has continued to make strides in his 2nd season as well. Here he is making himself a factor, going to the boards and throwing it down strong.
Yeah, Dang should be a junior at Duke University, but he has come along very fast with his game of basketball, and Chicago's done a good job of putting that good nucleus together. So the Rockets in a 2nd game are going to have to play with a lot of energy tonight.
The fact that this team beat a good San Antonio Spurs team last night, meaning the Chicago Bulls, that should give the Rockets even more incentive, because this is their home turf, and we got to start defending our home turf in order to get a good solid run going into December.
Emily, the Rockets are digging themselves quite a hole without Tracy McGrady here early in the season. They don't need another loss. They'd love to get a win here tonight.
Welcome back to your Toyota pregame show. We're getting you ready for the Rockets and the Bulls here on FSN Houston. Houston looking to snap a 6-game losing skid against a Chicago team that's won 2 straight. Time now to turn our attention, though, away from the hardwood for a bit and to the big screen. Last time out, John Barry and David Wesley played the role of movie critics and reviewed a couple of the greatest sports movies of all time for us. Now it's time to tackle chick flicks.
Hello and welcome to Backcourt Critics. I'm John Barry along with
David Wesley.
This is a new feature where we talk about nothing but movies. Today we're talking chick flicks. 1993, Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan thriller, Sleepless in Seattle. Dave, what'd you think?
I thought it was okay. You know, it was a movie that I enjoyed watching. You know, it's, father, son, hooking his dad up. How can it get any better than that?
Oh, it was touching.
You have sons.
I do.
You know, if the situation was different, your son was trying to hook his dear old dad up, you'd think, yes.
Well, tell me something. I want you to finish this sentence. I reach for the Kleenex when
When they finally get together.
Oh.
That's special time.
That's sweet.
That's true love right there.
I reached for the Kleenex when I had to go to the movie with my wife.
Oh.
So before I got in the theater, I reached for the Kleenex.
Like, oh gosh,
Because
here we go.
wow, was I dreading that one.
Yes.
So, what would you give it? Let's rate it.
I'm going to give it another layup, not a slam dunk.
Another layup. You just seem to be a guy that can't commit. Good film, bad film.
I mean, I wasn't running out of there with, my hands in the air like great film. But I didn't hate it.
Okay, I'm going to give it an air ball. Too touching for me.
You seem pretty negative. Have you given anything a layup or a slam dunk?
No, I'm either feast or famine.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be great or I don't like it.
Good
I'm
stuff.
a perfectionist. You know this, Dave.
It's good stuff.
Let's follow that up with the best chick in a movie. This is pretty simple for me. I'll let you go first.
I mean, she's gorgeous. Long hair, short hair, it doesn't matter. Halle Berry. She's pretty good.
I concur. She's my number one, other than my wife, and she doesn't have to change her name.
Wow. Now there's a mouthful.
Okay, hey, enough pillow talk. Let's get back to the action on the court. We'll see you next time.
Welcome back. Time now for our Toyota stat of the night. And the Houston Rockets leading the NBA in at least one category. The Rockets first in the league, allowing just 6.1 points per game in the fast break category. Almost a point and a half in front of the second team, which is the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks giving up just 7.5 points per game. So the Rockets playing good D as far as the fast break is concerned. They'll look to do a little bit more of that tonight when they take on the Chicago Bulls. Welcome back. Just a few minutes away from tip-off between the Rockets and the Bulls. Houston playing without the services of Tracy McGrady. This will be the 8th game the All-Star guard has been forced to sit out due to back spasms. And the Rockets are 0-7 without T-Mac, which means some of the Houston reserves have got to pick up the slack. And one of those guys is Juwan Howard, who is standing by with our Dennis.
Okay, Emily, thanks a lot. Juwan, losing streaks can be difficult and hard on a team, whether they're 2 games, 10 games, whatever. They take a toll on chemistry and relationships and whatnot. How is this team handling what's going on so far?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, our relationship has still remained the same. We've been a tight group, enjoy being around each other, haven't had any dissension at all, haven't had any pointing the fingers. Just true enough, you're right. Once you have a season where things not going in your way and you're losing a lot of ball games, guys start to divide. And we haven't seen that yet here. True enough, we all are competitors. It's very disappointing, frustrating that the fact that where we are right now. But hopefully in due time this thing will turn, and of course we are confident that it will.
Do you see any similarities to the beginning of this season, to the beginning of last season, where you get some open looks and the shots just aren't falling? You're playing pretty good defense, but leads are getting away from you at the end. I mean, do you see similarities?
Oh, of course. I mean, there's some similarities. It happened last year, and true enough, you hate to, of course, bring up last year because it's the past now. But we're trying to move forward for the future, and I feel that confidently as a team, we will get better. Shots will fall. We continue to play good defense, play with the energy. That's the key right there, bringing energy from start to finish. We'll win ball games.
And this is your 4th game in 5 nights. The schedule's been brutal on you guys. The most difficult thing, I would think, is the lack of quality practice time that you guys are getting to fix some of these problems. Is that the case?
Well, in this league, sure enough, sometimes the schedule's not working in your favor. And we as professionals, and not only that, you're talking about, veteran ball players, we understand that and know we experienced it before. So it's nothing new to us, and we're not going to make any excuses. We know we played a lot of tough teams early, but that's good. We got tested early. So, yes, coaches, staff, and the players now have looked at it and said, hey, we need to reevaluate and see what we need to do to improve, to correct some of the problems that we're having, and we're going to do that. And trust me, but when you have a coach like Jeff Van Gundy, who's your leader out there, who's your coach, he's going to make sure it happens.
All right.
Trust him.
Juwan Howard, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it very much. Best of luck tonight.
Live from the Toyota Center in downtown Houston, FSN Houston presents Rockets basketball. And tonight, it's the Rockets taking on the Chicago Bulls. Hi, everybody, I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us here tonight. The Rockets trying to avoid a 7-game losing streak. They're trying to get one here tonight against Chicago. Tracy McGrady will be out. Rafer Alston will be out again for Houston. And now you can add John Barry to the list of injured who will not play tonight. So, do you have any eligibility left, Clyde Drexler?
I do, but I don't think they have any room under the cap.
Well, there's going to be a little different. Stromile Swift will be in the starting lineup for Jeff Van Gundy here tonight. But the big battle in the middle, Tyson Chandler, very active, young 7-foot center for Chicago, and he's got all the moves.
He's got all the moves. He's very active. He's like a gazelle. He's 7'1", long, blocks a lot of shots, and he finishes everything around the basket. And you look at the guard for the Bulls. That's finish it up with the big guys. You got Yao with the turnaround, and Yao can do that. Tonight, maybe because of Tyson Chandler guarding him, they may not front him, which will be great for the Houston Rockets and Yao Ming.
Okay, it's time now for the Toyota Power Team. Keys to the game.
Well, you got to slow those guards down. As I said earlier, Duhan, Heinrich, they can shoot the ball, they can pass it, and you also add the second-year guy, Ben Gordon, into that mix, and they're quite deadly. They got to communicate both on offense and on the defensive end. They got to talk it up. And lastly, they got to put the ball in the hole, Bill. That's something that's been missing from this year's team. The ability to consistently make shots from the perimeter.
Young Chicago Bulls going against the Houston Rockets. We'll be back with the tip-off in just a moment on FSN Houston. Welcome back to the Toyota Center, downtown Houston. NBA action. The Houston Rockets losing in Memphis last night, going to 3-10 on the season. The Chicago Bulls defeated the Spurs in San Antonio last night to go to 5-5 on this 2005 NBA campaign. Let's set up tonight's Southwest Airlines starting lineups. And we'll start with the Chicago Bulls. Mike Sweetney, Andres Nocioni, Tyson Chandler, Chris Duhan, and Kurt Heinrich for the Chicago Bulls. For the Houston Rockets, they'll be starting it out tonight with Juwan Howard. Stromile Swift will get the starting assignment in place of Ryan Bowen, Yao Ming, David Wesley, and Luther Head, who is celebrating his 23rd birthday today. So we're just about ready to go with tonight's game. We'll be back with the opening tip-off on FSN Houston. Welcome back to the Toyota Center, downtown Houston, for NBA action tonight. The Chicago Bulls with a big win in San Antonio last night, and that was good news for head coach Scott Skiles, third youngest head coach in the NBA, his third season with the Chicago Bulls, and before that he was the head coach at Phoenix. They had a very good record there. They won 60% of their games and a couple of playoff appearances before he went on to Chicago. He's a tough, hard-nosed guy, and that's the way he learned how to play basketball at Michigan State, and he had a good career in the NBA. Jeff Van Gundy says, I don't know what to say anymore about my team. We have lost 6 games in a row. We've tried everything we can try. Tonight, they're going to put Stromile Swift in the starting lineup rather than bring him in off the bench. It's just a combination of not getting up enough shots, not making enough shots, They've been in every game down the stretch, Clyde. They just haven't been able to finish.
And that typically happens, Bill, when your best player on the court is not on the floor, because no one else is comfortable, other than Yao Ming, of taking those big shots in the last 6 minutes of an NBA game. And so tonight, their quest is to find someone to step up and take, not only take, but to also make those big shots.
Yes, indeed. Well, the Bulls feel pretty good about themselves. It's a young team. They're at the end of a 6-game road trip, and they have a chance to go 3-3 on this road trip with a victory here tonight. They snapped a 9-game losing streak to San Antonio in San Antonio last night. Now they've lost 5 games in a row to the Rockets, so they'd like to break that streak here tonight. And the way it's been going, they're favored to do that. Sweetney's a big guy. He's a heavyweight. They got him in a trade with New York before the season started, and he threw up an air ball. They ran a play for him, actually. That's a shocker.
I tell you, he's been a productive member of that team this year. Mm-hmm. In his 3rd year out of Georgetown, he gives them the beef in that lineup.
Yao Ming working on Tyson Chandler, and what a great move by Yao. Tyson Chandler is a good shot blocker, and he was able to get it up over his outstretched arm. Nocioni, very hard-nosed player. Heinrich, he's slick with that basketball. Back outside, Nocioni will fire up a 3 and hit it.
You can't leave him open, Bill. He is too good a shooter from three-point land.
The Bulls are number 3 in the NBA in three-point shooting as a team, shooting 40% from the three-point line. And Nocioni, as you mentioned, is a 40%. He's now 11 of 26 on the season. Romile Swift taking it inside, puts it up, draws the foul. He'll shoot 2. The officials for tonight's game, Joe Forte, who just made that call, David Jones, Olandis Poole. The officials, Forte, one of the real veterans of the NBA game, as well as Final Fours in the NCAA. In fact, he refereed your game with North Carolina State in the Final Four.
Oh, and we were having so much fun.
Oh, I shouldn't have brought that up.
You bring that up.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, forget I said it.
During the holiday season. Oh.
Well, happy Thanksgiving anyway. I know you had a great meal.
I had a great meal. I'm so full. I love the holidays, Bill.
Yeah.
Time to spend time with family and friends and just get together and catch up.
Well, the Rockets would like to get into the holiday spirit with a win tonight.
Won't be nothing better.
Nocioni's going to put the shot up and in. Well, Juwan Howard hasn't been getting out there fast enough. I guess Nocioni has proved to him he can shoot. Made the first 2 shots. Wesley on the perimeter now. Memphis made some big shots down the stretch last night. Luther Head. Air ball. He's been playing very well lately.
Luther has taken advantage of the opportunity that the injuries have provided for him. He's getting more minutes because of it, and he's producing.
Stromile from 17. Bingo. Well, what do you think about starting him, getting him into the flow a little earlier?
I like it. Stromile is a very good player. When things are going well, he's the guy you want to have on the floor. And against an athletic team like the Bulls, I think it's a good move by Coach Van Gundy.
Well, it gives you another big body in there. Ryan Bowen was playing, and there was contact, no whistle, ball on the floor. Look at Yao Ming get after it. Great hustle by Yao. Wesley right back down the other way. Luther open momentarily. Now Yao comes into the picture. 12 on the shot clock. Down to 5, down to 4. It's going to have to be Yao taking charge again, and he drew the foul from Chandler. A lot more energy for Yao Ming tonight.
Great move by Yao Ming. He sees the shot clock going down. He gives him the punt fake, and certainly Tyson Chandler being a great shot blocker, he goes for it and picks up the early foul.
You know, Tyson Chandler is much better than any player from Memphis guarding Yao last night, but they fronted Yao. Tonight they're letting Chandler play behind him and get the ball. I don't think that's a good strategy with Yao. If you allow him to get the ball, he's pretty tough.
And he's proven he's capable of producing. I think it's an easier game when you allow him to touch the ball without fronting him. And certainly, I know the Bulls and Scott Skiles have been scouting each and every game, but they think Tyson Chandler is a good enough defender where he can make a difference. We'll see how long they stay with that strategy.
Yeah. My fella Othella in the game now. Othella Harrington, great guy, former Rocket, misses the shot. Juwan Howard with the rebound. Rockets with a 3-point lead, trying to build on it. Luther head down to Yao Ming. He's got the position, jumps it up and in. I'm telling you, you can't play behind him. He'll just kill you.
He'll kill you. Make it very easy. Make it look really simple.
Mike Fratello said last night we're going to front him. There's Chandler taking it in for 2 and possibly 3 as a contact and a blocking foul on Yao Ming. They ran at him last night. They fronted him, ran at him with a couple of other players. And
there's a replay on the dish from Heinrich. And of course, Chandler's a great athlete. He gets up high, he extends, and he finishes. He's really coming to his own the last couple of years. First couple of years out of Dominguez High School, he kind of struggled a little bit. But the last couple of years, he's picked this game up. He looks extremely good.
Well, the Clippers drafted him number 1. Then they sent him to Chicago in a trade for Elton Brand. I still don't understand it to this day. Elton Brand is such a good player.
Very good.
Now you can get rid of him, but they did. And now he's helping the Clippers get off to a good run. There's traveling on Yao Ming. Now that time they gave Tyson Chandler help. They rushed to Yao Ming when he got the ball.
I think Scott Skiles is a heads-up NBA coach. He'll make adjustments quite often throughout the game. You'll see a lot of different looks.
Harrington takes it inside and the foul on Wesley. That's the first foul on David and the second team foul on the Rockets. 2 team fouls on the Bulls. And Othella Harrington will be at the line. Well, here's a guy in his 10th NBA campaign. He was drafted. He was the first pick in the second round by the Houston Rockets. Had a nice career here. Still lives in Houston.
Of course, I played a couple of years, my last couple of years with Othella Harrington. And let me tell you something about him. He works hard each and every day he's on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Consummate professional, a great young man. I enjoyed having him as a teammate. And he's another one of those Georgetown big men with a questionable jump hook.
Stromile Swift to the basket. Great pass from Juwan. He just came flying out of the rafters. You got to watch your back door when Stromile Swift is roaming around on the back porch. And Chicago takes a timeout. 7:56 left to play in the first period. Rockets up by 2.
Baloncesto en español.
Thank you, Alex. What Alex just said is we want to make sure we invite you. Say, Pete, we invite you. Thank you very much. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Adrian. And the Bulls missed on the hook shot by Harrington. Swift takes it to the basket. He loses the ball. And the Bulls will get it up court to Harrington as he gets around Yao Ming. Heinrich again finding the open man. He is pretty slick with that basketball as he's averaging just under 7 assists a game. Luther sets it up.
Showing a little patience here. I like it. I like the start that the Rockets are off to tonight, Bill.
David Wesley hustles down the rebound. Giving it back, Stromile. He'll put it up and miss it, and Tyson Chandler. Rockets are playing with a lot of energy, though, Clyde, and that's good to see after last night. You're going to have it with these young Bulls. Duhan misses, and Juwan Howard quickly up the court. Luther head, back to Wesley. Juwan gets a double team, finds David. David misses. David made his first 3 3-pointers last night in Memphis. And Heinrich with a miss. In fact, it was 11-0 Houston before Mike Fratello could call a timeout. But after that, they made the adjustment.
You got to sustain it, Bill. You got to sustain it. And certainly David should not be gun-shy tonight against this team.
Juwan put a little too much on the layup. Duhan all the way to the basket. That's something that has plagued the Rockets all season long, the penetration of the opposing guards.
And anytime a guard can get to the basket before the big guys can get down and set up, it's a good play.
Well, that was one of your key. In fact, that was your first key of tonight's game, and the Rockets are going to get a reminder from Jeff Van Gundy during this timeout. Bulls up by a couple, 5:43 left in the first quarter. Let's take a look at tonight's McDonald's League leaders. And this will be three-point percentage this season. The Chicago Bulls, as I mentioned a moment ago, right up there at the top, almost 40% with the Celtics and the Bucks. And the Bucks, of course, T.J. Ford's off to a terrific start, and it's good to see him. He's my comeback player of the year.
No doubt. I love T.J. He's a Houston guy. He had a terrible spine injury in his back, and it affected everything he did for a year and a half. Couldn't play. Certainly he's made a tremendous comeback, and he looks like the TJ of old.
That was a nice aggressive move by Yao Ming, but he did not make the shot. Othello puts it up and in. Now, he gives you a little different. He'll move out to the perimeter, and that's what Yao has a little trouble coming out there and guarding those guys.
And Othello has no hesitation about putting it up.
No, indeed. And a whistle and a foul call on Tyson Chandler. Now Tyson reached over, and Landis Poole the official was walking by him, and he hit him on the back end. And Joe Fordick came up and said, "You can't make contact with the official like that." He said, "I was just messing around." Chandler with his second foul, though, and he knew that was going to take him out of the game.
He knew. Big guys hate to come out.
Yeah, they do.
They hate it.
Sweatley in the game now, and he'll be on Stomach Swift. In fact, he had a handful of his jersey just then. Derek Anderson, great fake. Gives it up to Swift, 3 seconds. I think Yao thought that they were going to shoot that ball, so he went to get the rebound and got caught in the lane on the fake.
Got to put it up. And see, the big guys are always going for the offensive rebounds, and so they get stuck in there. I'd rather see them shoot it so you don't get a violation. At least you have a chance, Bill.
Yeah. Luther Head has last week had career highs in rebounds and assists. And before that, in points. Now it's very aggressive tonight, and he made his first couple. Now he's missed the last 4. And Duhan gives it back to Heinrich. Alcione, and they drop it down inside, and a whistle. He called on Luther Head as Juwan Howard comes in for Houston. Dikembe Mutombo comes in also, so Yao and Stromae Swift will come out of the game, and they're the only 2 Rockets who have scored. Swift with 6 and Yao Ming with 6. Ben Gordon has checked into the game for the Bulls, so it's Gordon, Heinrich in that backcourt, and Harrington is getting all the shots.
He will put it up. We used to call him a shot a minute man.
Well, it's an 8-0 run by the Bulls, and Othello has 8 points in 5 minutes. And Juwan with the miss, and the Rockets getting only 1 shot. They're the worst offensive rebounding team in the NBA. Sweatley bulldozes his way to the middle and gets the basket. It counts. He's fouled by Dikembe Mutombo. Well, when this big fella goes to the basket, a lot of things crumble, don't they, Clyde?
Oh, a lot of things crumble, and they get out of the way. Here's Sweatley trying to post up on Mutombo, who's doing a pretty good job. And he throws up the fall-away hook, and he gets the roll. That's the way things have been going for the Houston Rockets.
Yep. Sweeney was selected by the Knicks in the first round of the NBA draft 2003, and then picked up by Chicago with Tim Thomas and 2 second-round picks and a conditional first-round pick for Eddie Curry. That was a controversial deal. They had to give Curry the test, and a whistle, and a foul on Othello Harrington. Depending on who you talk to, Curry passed the
That's
test.
amazing. The guy's 22 years of age. Obviously, he's in pretty good health. He's playing for the Knicks today.
Yeah. And the Bulls are happy with it. They were not very happy with both Tyson Chandler and Eddie Curry, and they did not think Curry had progressed enough in their system, and we've got a blocking foul called on the Bulls. The Rockets now have gone almost 5 minutes without scoring a point, and this is something that has happened to them during this 6-game losing streak, these long scoring droughts.
And when you're having a scoring drought, Bill, the worst thing you can do is not get shots up. I'd rather see you continue to miss them, because sooner or later you're going to make those shots. You are an NBA player, and they're going to go down. But you got to shoot them with confidence and in your rhythm. But when you don't put them up and you have turnovers, that just kills everything you're playing for.
Yeah, the Rockets last night with only 60 field goal attempts in Memphis. That means you better get to the free throw line a bunch of times, and you better make a lot of free throws. And they're not shooting a good enough percentage to take that few shots. And so it's just been a bad combination. That, along with the fact that they turned the ball over 19 times, that means that's 19 possessions you don't get a shot.
And when you're shooting, as you said, 41% from the field as a team, every shot, I mean, there's a huge amount of importance on every shot. But if you get more of them up, it'll be a little bit more relaxing, I would think.
Darius Sungaya checks into the lineup now. He is really a good hustler. He's in his 3rd season. He's from Lithuania. He played college ball at Wake Forest and had a couple of very productive years in Sacramento. Kirk Heinrich picked up by Luther Head. Oh, that was a great pick then by Sungaya, but Heinrich missed the shot over to David Wesley. Rockets looking for a field goal here. Wesley sets up Luther. Luther, another three-pointer for Luther Head. And for Luther, that's number 23 on the season. He's 23 of 45 for 50% from behind the arc. One of the leaders in the NBA.
Pretty good numbers from a rookie.
Sweetney to the basket, up and in. That's a pretty nice move there.
Great move by the big fella.
Juwan Howard. And Sweetney with a rebound. Who's a big fella from Arkansas that looked a little like Sweetney, but
Oliver Miller.
When Oliver was in halfway decent shape, he moves around pretty good, too.
Very, very good shot blocker.
Yeah.
At 6'9".
A little who Sweetney reminds me of a little bit.
He's about 40 pounds under Miller's playing weight. At least 40.
Okay. Oh, that shot blocked. Good defense. Oh, dang. Was able to block the shot and get back the other way, and he's not shy about shooting it either.
That's one thing these guys from the Bulls have in common. They have a lot of guys that can put up good numbers.
Oh, Dang had a nice game last night in San Antonio. In fact, this backcourt has the quickness to stay with the Spurs backcourt. That's why they gave him fits last night. Shot clock down to 3, down to 2. Wesley throws it up. Mutombo with a rebound. Fresh 24 for Houston. Juwan Howard, yes! 1 minute left to play in the quarter, and the Rockets trail by 5.
Great move by Juwan Howard. He's in his rhythm. He gets it at the low block. And he shoots that patented jump hook so well.
Yeah, he really shoots it nicely. A career scoring average of about 17 points a game. He won't score that much now, but he's a good, solid player. And there's Juwan with a steal and a foul by Sungaya. That's the first on Sungaya, but the 15th foul on Chicago, so the Rockets will get 1+ from the free throw line. Both teams are in the penalty. And with John Barry injured tonight and on the bench in street clothes, Moochie Norris moves up the ladder, and he will get some minutes tonight. And when somebody else gets injured, Clyde, it's always an opportunity for the next guy.
Absolutely. And they're all NBA players, Bill, and this is your opportunity. Make the most of it.
Lucci had some good minutes on the road.
Lucci Norris has proven he's a pretty good player in this league if given the minutes. Certainly as a backup point guard.
Yeah, he's a veteran. Mooch in his 9th NBA season. Doesn't seem like that long, does it?
I can remember the days of the Afro.
Ooh. Flying around in the old Summit. One night the bat was flying around, remember, flew right through the Afro. And the basket by Ben Gordon. That Ben Gordon is strong, isn't he?
Oh, he's strong in every way. And here's a guy who can put up big numbers every night, but they bring him in off the bench, and he provides spark on both ends of the court.
Oh, good save by Juwan Howard. 26-22, final possession, no shot clock. Bulls will try to get the final shot. And Duhan will pull the trigger. Sungaia's got it with 3 seconds, down to 2. And a whistle with 1 second left. And a foul is called on Derek Anderson.
Oh, I tell you, he's taking it to the basket. He had help there. Mutombo comes over to help. You got to let go. If you're a guard and you see the big guy coming, let him go. Don't pick up that foul, Bill.
Yep. Well, Sungaia, one of those guys, he played 4 seasons in Wake Forest, and he was not going to be picked in the second round. The Celtics took him late in the second round. Sacramento had seen him play, and they worked out a trade with Boston to get him, and he's had some productive years. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. The young Bulls come in, put up 27 points, but the Rockets hang in with 22. They have some fun on that show, don't they?
I have a lot of fun, and the games are phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't miss very many of them.
I don't know how James keeps order on that show with Terry Bradshaw sitting right next to him.
It's hard.
Oh, what a great move by Derek. He got up in the air and switched hands. He's really coming on in the last 5 games.
He seems to be very comfortable in his role coming off the bench here.
In fact, he's been the leading scorer for Houston now in 3 of the last 4. Anderson has 4 off the bench here tonight. And Ben Gordon from the corner, and the rebound. Oh, Mutombo and Sungaia, there he is, creating havoc.
Sungaia is very physical. He'll go for the rebounds. He'll mix it up. Here he is, Howard with a great block out. Had him locked and everything, and he still found a way to get into the play.
The thing that worries you about a guy like Sungaia, though, he's an injury waiting to happen, and the injury might be to you. Body's flying all over the place.
Very physical player. But you need a guy like that.
Do the dirty work, huh? Hey, but Juwan's answering the challenge here tonight. Juwan Howard with 6. So 3 Rockets with 6 points. Swift, Howard, and Yao. And Anderson with 4 off the bench. And it's a 1-point lead by the Bulls. Bodies flying everywhere. Duhan gives it up to Nocioni. Good defense by Derek Anderson. Boy, that's just great defense by Houston. Now finish it out. 5 seconds, down to 4. Nocioni right before the buzzer, and the Rockets play great defense, and Deke says, give me that ball.
He said, that's my job.
You're not deep enough. Juwan off the back of the iron. Foul is whistled on Juwan Howard. And Tyson Chandler checks back into the game for Chicago. Sungaia will go out.
He's had a pretty good rest, Bill, with those quick fouls early, 2 fouls.
Yeah.
He's full of energy.
Reminds me of Brian Cardinal.
Yes, he does.
That's another guy that gives you about 180%. Pass into Streetney, and Dikembe made him change the shot. Rockets now can get the lead with a basket here. We play just over 2 minutes into the second period. Luther head. Just missed the three. That was a perfectly executed play. They knew Chandler would not stay out on him, and he backed off, gave Luther the shot. He's been making that this season.
He will make those.
50%.
I like the fact that he's not afraid to take it, Bill.
He's got a lot of confidence. You're right. There's another miss, and Luther runs it down. So Duhan with that miss, 1 for 5 for the Rockets from the three-point line, 1 for 6 for Chicago. Both teams cold from out there. Lucci gives it up to Howard. He's been hitting that shot. This time he's right on, but just a little short. Chris Duhan. Had a great 4 years at Duke University. Tyson Chandler to the basket, and Dikembe met him there with a very physical block. That's the second foul on Mutombo. So when we come back, Tyson Chandler will be at the free throw line. The Bulls lead at 27-26 on FSN Houston. Bulls lead it by a point, 8:51 left to play in the second period. Yao Ming will check back in. And Tyson Chandler only a 44% free throw shooter. 8 of 18 on the season. Oh, he's got that hitch, but that one went in.
He's got an awkward free throw shooting style.
Watch him hitch it right there before he releases.
So you're saying he has a little hitch in his get-along?
Yes, he does. Watch this. It's kind of like... oh, Charles Barkley's golf swing. Remember? Right there at the top.
Little spasmic.
Well, I wouldn't say spasmic. It's just, I don't know what it is. His practice swing's not bad.
It's anything but smooth.
That's right. Derek Anderson hits the jumper. You guys see him coming, you just lick your chops, don't you?
Oh, it's like child abuse.
Heinrich taking it down to Tyson Chandler. And it's blocked. Swift got a piece of it. Well, shot blockers aren't used to getting their shots blocked.
No, it's a different world for those guys.
Yep. Lucci gets it back.
But I tell you, Swift has the athletic ability to stay with the Tyson Chandler. So he'll give him a few problems.
Yao Ming from the top of the key, just off the iron. Well, he hit his first 2. He's missed his last 5. That's kind of the way the season's been going for Yao, and he'll get off to a good start, but he can't sustain it. Heinrich stopped by Yao at the baseline, and a whistle, and a foul on Swift. That's only the first foul on Stroman.
Heinrich gets through on the replay here. He's great at just looking for the open man.
Well, he ran into the great wall of Yao right there.
He did a good job of cutting him off, but he will find the open man. And you have to respect that because he's such a good shooter. And that's what sets it all up.
Well, he just threw that right through the keyhole there. He just had just a little bit of room. Now, Chandler can't make another one, can he? I knew he couldn't make 3 in a row.
No, I don't. For the big guys, especially the guys over 7 feet, if they can shoot 70, 75, maybe even 65, that's a good day for those guys.
Luol Deng checked into the lineup. Talk about a terrific-looking athlete. That Luol Deng is somebody to watch. Yeah, he's finally back on his game now. He missed his last 2. Deng is 6'9", puts the ball on the floor, can shoot it, he's going to really be something. He's only 20 years old.
Such a nice kid on top of that.
Oh, nice basket by David Wesley, and the Rockets have regained the lead. Houston on a 13-5 run. 7:15 left to play in the second quarter.
Ultimately, Bill, it comes to a point where you just got to make shots.
Yeah, they play good enough defense. There's Dang. Now, 6'9". Look at those long arms, Clyde. I mean, he really is going to be a special player.
Plays the 2 guard, 3 position, and some 4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, he doesn't even know what it's about yet. Lucci with the miss. Swift tips it outside. There's Dang. Heinrich. A lot of movement by the Bulls, and they get the shot. Duhan. 48% shooting for Chicago, 39% shooting for Houston. And again, it boils down to what you were talking about a moment ago. You got to make your shot.
Got to make shots.
Oh, nice move. Yao! He slams it home and draws the foul. Tyson Chandler was helpless.
And that's exactly what you got to do. Yao misses last 5 attempts, posts up strong, makes a good spin move, and throws it down with authority. He's not going to miss that one, Bill.
No, sir.
He will not be denied.
That's what you're looking for from him now, a little bit more of that attitude.
Absolutely. Aggressive. And I think the fact that they're letting him get the ball is a big part of his aggression tonight. They're letting him post up. No double teams.
Yeah. 8 points now for Yao. The Rockets trailing it by a point. Misses, and look at Mucci go up there and get that rebound. Under 6 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Mucci, nice pass to the corner for David Wesley with a 3.
And Mucci Norris is making it happen.
Yeah, he dribbled all around the place. That's his 3rd assist since he's been in the game.
But he's creating open looks for these players, David Wesley and Derek Anderson, and they're knocking them down.
And Kirk Heinrich comes right back with a basket. That's the first basket of the game for Heinrich, although he has 4 assists. Yao Ming again. Sweetney behind him, Yao in the middle, and he's fouled on the play. Now they're letting him catch it. I still say that he's pretty tough when you let him catch it. He can get into movement. And the Rockets call a timeout. 5:12 left to play. Mucci Norris making some things happen. Rockets are tied with the Bulls. We're tied at 35. 5:12 left to play in the first half. Stromile Swift hit the lotto tonight when he found out he was starting.
Oh, yeah. And he's responded. He's played very well.
Yeah, 12 minutes, only 1 foul. He's got 6 points. 6 for Juwan Howard, 8 for Yao Ming, 5 for David Wesley, and 6 for Derek Anderson. Mucci Norris has come in and added a spark with 3 assists.
I like the energy that the Rockets are playing with at this time. This is something they need to sustain for 48 minutes. Bill, if they can do that, they will establish a home court advantage and get the crowd into it, because after all, they want to see guys hustling, and that pumps them up.
Yeah, they'd like to get some wins before Tracy comes back, Clyde, and so they could hang in the race. If the Rockets could win tonight and go to 4-10, they thought Tracy might play tonight, and they decided, no, don't try it until maybe Tuesday at the earliest. They'll have 2 home games next week, and they won't have to leave town, and they'll be spaced out. They'll play Tuesday night, and they won't play again for 3 more days.
Give them a little bit more rest. I do like that, because it's still very early in the NBA season.
Stromile to the basket, misses. Yao Ming tried to clean it up, couldn't hold on to it. Luol Deng gets the ball up in a hurry, but good defensive. And Heinrich is open and misses, and the rebound goes long. Heinrich puts it up over Yao Ming, and Yao saves it to no one in particular. I think he was throwing that to Les Alexander, but There's Les. He didn't look interested. I don't think he wanted any part of it.
Nope. I think he would much rather have seen him stay in bounds and just corral it.
Catch the ball. That's what he wanted to do.
Get the rebound.
That's 20 rebounds for Houston and 16 for the Bulls. Heinrich coming off that pick, sets up Othello Harrington, and Yao's not going to come out and get him. And Harrington hits again, so Othello has 12 points to lead the Bulls. He's 5 of 8 from the field. That's something that they saw, and they're taking advantage of. David Wesley has to throw one up, and it's tipped out of Yao's hands. Moochie Norris has it. David's open in the corner. Wesley misses, and Moochie goes and gets it.
The hustle by Moochie Norris.
That's 4 rebounds for Moochie. 4 rebounds. Shortest guy out there. Now gets a double team. Back to Derek. And Stromile Swift with a charge. Ooh. I wish the Texans could tackle that well. That's quite a move then. Moochie will come out of the game. He's got 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Luther head back in. And Luther will match up with Chris Duhon, Heinrich, and Wesley. And Heinrich all the way to the basket. Stromile Swift with a block. Nocioni says, "What am I doing in here?" And he traveled all over the place. He looked up and saw Yao, and he just had heart failure.
He saw nothing but a white jersey, and he's looking about waist high at Yao's jersey.
Oh, Swift.
Just tremendous block.
But watch. Yeah, here. Well, he gets the ball in the middle, and he looks up and sees Yao, and he's got nowhere to go. They were going to call 3 seconds if he didn't travel. Luther Head gives it down to Swift. Nocioni right behind him. And that's going to be a 3-second violation, defensive violation on Chicago.
That was good patience by Stromile at that time. He saw guys in the lane. He tried to let them clear so he could begin to go to work and ended up getting a violation on the Bulls. Good patience. What's
the biggest difference in these rules now than when you played?
I tell you, they seem to have enforced them a lot more when I played, Bill. They enforced them more. Now they seem to be very cavalier about the rules, especially on the defensive end.
Well, they had a lot of touching when you played. You could put your hands on players. They don't let them do that anymore.
They don't, any kind of physical activity, they're taking that out of the game, which I think is a mistake.
There's some players. Yao goes to the basket. Great pass from Stromile Swift. And we have a timeout called by the Chicago Bulls. 2:53 left in the second period. Rockets hanging tough, down by only a point. Pro basketball.
Entertainment at its finest.
We've been pretty lucky here in Houston with basketball down through the years, thanks to Guy Lewis. The Cougars started us off before we had pro basketball, before the NBA came to town. There was Elvin Hayes, Don Chaney, those great Cougar teams of the 60s, and then you guys came along, Otis Birdsong, and your group with Keene. It's been a lot of fun.
Kind of helped put basketball on the map.
It did. There were a lot of fans who understood it.
In the southern states especially.
Yeah.
Because, you know, good basketball was only played in the East and the North for a long time.
Well,
and the West.
Nocioni misses. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Rockets now with a chance to extend their lead. They're up by a point. Luther Head down to Yao Ming. Yao's got Othello on him now. Big height advantage here. They come over. No, they don't really help Othello out. Yao misses the hook shot.
Well, he'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, he's just barely hitting off the back of the iron. This is where Othello's eating him up, but he misses finally. He was 5 for 8. Okay, go right back to Yao again. Now working on Othello. So far, double team's not coming over, and he rims it out again. 3 for 8 shooting for Yao Ming. Well, dang. Boy, they put up some crazy shots, don't they?
And they put them up quickly, too.
They don't waste much time on that shot clock.
They have a lot of guys who have a lot of offensive firepower, so they need to get their looks.
David Wesley picked up by Heinrich. David goes to the basket, and he's fouled by Otella Harrington. That's what you were talking about earlier. A little more of guard penetration would help the Rockets.
That would really help, because even if you're not making your shot, if you're going to the basket, you're creating havoc for the defensive team, and you can get them in foul trouble. You get to the line, get you some free throws, make the game a little bit easier. David Wesley does a great job of that on that play.
Of course, that's tough. You take a lot of punishment when you go to the basket in this game. David Wesley trying to get back in shape after off-season knee surgery. Harrington comes out of the game. I think he's just about there now. His shots come back.
As his knees seem to be a little bit stronger, you can tell he's been rehabbing.
His three-point shots come back. He's still having a little trouble with his jump.
Absolutely. And he'll get better with each and every game.
He's always been an 80% free throw shooter, and David gets both. And the Rockets lead it now by 3. Houston 20-12 in this quarter over Chicago. Alcione on the drive and bodies fly. Somebody lost a mouthpiece.
But this is a non-contact sport.
Oh, yeah, sure. There was a TKO then. They're calling it on Stromile Swift.
First in the last 2 minutes.
Well,
might have been a charge before the foul.
Well, the officials were talking about it, and I don't think they finally got together on their interpretation of it. So Juwan Howard, who has played so well, will come back into the game. Alcione's from Argentina, and he's played on that Argentina national team. They won a silver medal at the World Championships a couple of years ago.
Very solid player who's capable of knocking down the open three-point shots, but he's not afraid to mix it up.
Yeah, he's very physical at 6'7". Ginobili, all those guys are physical, aren't they?
Absolutely. Have to be to play in this league.
There's Dang with a steal. Heinrich gets it up ahead to Ben Gordon. Nice pickup by Wesley. Gordon's going to shoot it anyway and made it. He jumps flat-footed. His vertical jump is as good as any guards in the league, isn't it? Did you see how quick he jumped up and shot that?
Oh, Ben Gordon can get up quickly.
He played with a make the floor. Yao Ming with a brilliant move to the basket. And then came down hard and twisted his ankle.
Does not look good, Bill.
And a 20-second timeout taken. Yeah, he stepped. Oh, look at Allen step on him. Allen stepped on him then.
Yeah.
Now watch this move again. Is this intentional?
No, I just think big guy's a little bit awkward. He never even saw him.
I don't know. It looked like a little extra. It looked like Malik Allen put a little extra on that.
He looked like he had his head turned the other way, so he really couldn't see what he was doing. Some big guys are just awkward. Trust me, they'll hurt you and not even know you're there.
If you come down on the top of somebody's foot, though, that's really the worst, isn't it? It looked like he got his foot caught between the floor and Malik Allen.
And that's just a bad place to be. The good thing is he's up and walking around.
Well, how strong is he to be able to get up and walk off from that? We're going to take a timeout with 38 seconds left to play in the first half. Bulls lead it by 1. Here's that drive by Yao Ming again, and Clyde watches he comes down, and Malik Allen steps on his foot, and he's looking at him. See, he's looking down at him.
Well, he's trying to figure out what his foot was stepping on. If you look at his head, Bill, his head is turned the other way, and he's just trying to come down. And then he looks down and sees what he's done.
Yeah, then he looks down and he gives him a little extra.
Well, he's trying to move, but big guys, they're just not that quick, Bill.
Okay. I think it was a little bit of a cheap shot myself, but... But we all have our opinions on it.
The good thing is that Yao Ming is up. He's got those strong legs.
You know,
he got a great foundation.
Yeah, look at how strong he is. He really is from his lower body strength.
Absolutely. That's the strength of his game.
And of course, you taped your ankles, didn't you?
No, I was one of the few guys who didn't tape, and I wore low-top shoes.
And you never had an ankle problem?
If I did, occasionally someone would step on my ankle, such as the last play. But you tape for a couple of weeks until it goes away, and go back to no tape. It would just drive coaches nuts.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to hear that as much flying as you did. You know, you would jump up in the air and come down hard, and I would think you would come down on top of some people's feet, which is...
Every now and then, but the reason I could get up is because I didn't have any restriction on my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore low-top sneakers, which felt pretty good. Today's game, I don't know, Bill. I think I'd have to tape and probably wear high-top sneakers.
So Yao has been substituted for with Ryan Bowen. He's got a little hitch in his get-along as Keith Jones, the Rockets trainer, will take him to the locker room for early treatment.
We know Keith Jones will take great care of him. He's the best trainer in the NBA and has been for a long time.
So Yao goes to the locker room with 14 points and 3 rebounds. Main thing is don't let it swell, right?
Absolutely. Put some ice on it. You got a little time before the half. Go in and put some ice on it. Just take away the swelling.
Game tied at 44. I remember Tim Duncan last year. Remember, he hurt his ankle twice coming down on top of people's feet. That really slowed him down at the end of the year so much so that they only won another championship. Luther Head back to Juwan Howard. That's going to be a steal by Ben Gordon. And another steal back by Luther Head. Checks the clock. Luther gives it back outside. Rockets now will have 5 seconds. Down the floor, David Wesley on the drive. Floats it up, won't go, and it's tipped away, and that's the end of the first half. But a good second quarter for the Houston Rockets as they get back into the game. And here at halftime, it's all tied up at 44. Stay with us. Tonight's Lexus halftime report comes your way after the break. Welcome back to the Toyota Center. We are tied at 44 at halftime, and Jeff Van Gundy inserted Stromile Swift into the lineup tonight as a starter for the first time this season, and he produced pretty well when the game started. He produced really well. Came in with a lot of energy, Bill, and really made a difference to the tone that was set in the first half. Here he is with the outside jumper. Here he is with the alley-oop. And that's really the way they should use him, off the ball. Alley-oop. He plays above the rim as he blocks shots. He hustles. He had a great first half, I thought, Bill. And I thought Yao Ming went to the basket, showed a lot of aggression early, and kept it up till right there when he got his ankle stepped on. Absolutely. Showed some aggression, the ability to really want to take over the game. Unfortunately there, he had his ankle stepped on, and hopefully he'll be back. Oh, that hurts. That hurts because he turned it. Yeah, we don't know whether he will be back for the second half. Bart Ennis will find out and report to us in just a few moments, and we'll be back with that report and the third quarter in just a moment. Here tonight's Bud Light first half stats, and the Rockets shooting only 36% from the field, but they've made some hay at the free throw line, 16 of 18. They've out-rebounded Chicago, and they've kept the turnovers down, and that was the difference from last night. Let's go to Bart Ennis.
All right, Bill, talked to Tom Thibodeau, the Rockets assistant coach, just a moment ago. He says Yao is okay. He took the tape off, put him through a series of tests in the locker room, retaped the ankle. He is going to go. And also, you mentioned the turnovers. That's another thing he said. This is going to be a close game, it looks like. They have to continue to take good care of the basketball and do a better job defending the pick and roll. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Bart, because the Rockets gave up 20 points on 19 turnovers last night, but so far tonight have surrendered only 6 points off 6 turnovers. That gives you more shots, of course. Absolutely. More shots on the basket. I like that. They're going to go right down to Yao Ming again. Yao working on Chandler. Luther Head off the dribble. Juwan from the corner, a little bit outside of his range, maybe. Heinrich and Duhan in the backcourt. Nocioni. Sweetney. Chandler gives it up to Sweetney. Sweetney bumps right into Yao, tries to shoot over him, and that It's about a 4-foot air ball.
It's called an intimidation. He may not have blocked that shot, but he's certainly intimidated.
Yao now will intimidate Sweetney with a turnaround, but he missed the shot. Duhan trying to go baseline. Yao was there to cut him off. Comes back the other way. Sweetney, ball knocked away by Stromile Swift.
Good job of helping on the weak side by Stromile that time.
Out of contact. Duhan and hit. Stromile working on Sweetney. Puts it up. Oh, what a great move, but he just didn't make the shot.
Couldn't get it to go.
So both teams pairing back and forth. Sweetney trying to shoot it up over Swift. Won't go. Yao with the rebound. Gets it out to David Wesley. He's going to make the first basket here. Chandler is fronting Yao Ming. Sweetney and Chandler both on Yao. Yao looks uncomfortable shooting the ball. He doesn't have to try anything different. Just go up and shoot it, and Heinrich loses it out of bounds. So both teams are really in a funk here to start it off. We've gone about 2.5 minutes without a basket.
Yao looks a little bit uncomfortable. I think the ankle probably hurt him just a little bit. And he's not getting the same elevation on his shot. So as the game wears on, he'll become more and more comfortable with that. And, Bill, you're looking at me like...
Oh, no, I'm not looking at all. I'm looking away from you as we speak. Yao goes to the middle and misses again. And Juwan Howard, good hustle by Juwan. And the Rockets will get the ball back with a fresh 24. I just think Yao is rushing his shots, and he doesn't have to. He's got plenty of time. Just take them in the free flow of the game.
I agree with you. I think he's so happy that they have single coverage.
Yeah, maybe he's over anxious, huh?
Absolutely.
Heinrich knocks it out of bounds. The game has really gotten sloppy.
You have a scoreless tie in the second half.
Well, actually, it helps the Rockets. Last night, Chicago scored over 100 points against San Antonio. That in itself is saying something. But when you do that, when you score over 100 against the Spurs in San Antonio, you are red hot. But tonight, the Rockets' defense has shut Chicago down. Swift, charge. Fourth foul on Stromile Swift. 0 for 5 for Houston, 0 for 4 for Chicago. And Derek Anderson will come into the Rockets lineup.
Here's the charge. Stromile jumps up. Nowhere to go.
Well, go ahead and shoot it. If he'd have shot that with contact, they may have given him the call.
Absolutely.
You turn your back, though, it's a dead charge.
It's a dead giveaway.
Duhan to the basket for 2. And again, that penetration.
Got to somehow stop the guards from getting into the paint.
Juwan Howard short from the outside, and Yao with a loose ball foul. That's the second foul on Yao. And the first team foul on the Rockets. 46-44 Chicago. Heinrich open. In and out, won't go. Boy, that ball went down for a second. Anderson misses. Yao had the rebound. They swarmed him. He lost it. No Sione. Sweetney grabbed by Yao Ming. Basket count.
I tell you, for some reason, Yao Ming seems to me that he's not moving that well. I think his ankle is affecting him on both ends of the court. Here he's the last one down the court, and Sweetney gets the layup. So certainly. When Sweetney beats you to the basket, that's not a good sign.
Something's happening.
He's a big boy, but I think his ankle is really bothering him. He's grimacing every time up and down the floor.
So Mike Sweetney gets the basket plus the free throw. He has 7 points. 5-point lead by Chicago. And again, one of these mysterious dry spells by the Rockets. A 6-game losing streak and a foul called on Tyson Chandler. He thought he was hooked by Yao Ming. That'll be the 4th foul on Tyson Chandler.
Here's Yao with the spin move. See, he can't quite turn that corner with ankle. You see the grimace? A lot of pain on that ankle.
I think Tyson may have an argument here had he not put his elbow in to Yao Ming. They're both elbows extended. So now Yao will have Sweetney to work on. Turner fires, misses. Juwan Howard hustles and gets the rebound. One extra pass. Luther Head hits a 3. Well, you can count on Luther. He's better than 50% from behind the three-point line, and he gets another one.
I tell you this, Derek Anderson making the extra pass, it really makes a difference in the overall flow.
Sweetney with a jump hook, and knocked out of bounds by the Rockets. So Luther Head now 2 for 3 from behind the three-point line. And that was a big basket for Houston. The Rockets were really sputtering offensively until he got that to go. And there's a blocking foul called on Chicago. And it's on Mike Sweetney.
Well, he's a blocking foul just standing up. He blocks the sun.
It's a violation on Sweetney.
Big boy.
There it is on the baseline.
Oh, yeah. Got to be in the field of play. Got to be on the court to set that pick.
49-47, Chicago. Derek Anderson blocked by Nocioni. Good defensive play. And Nocioni, he'll get in your hip pocket and just stay there.
Yeah, he's a very physical defender. And he's the kind of the epitomizes the Bulls players. They're gritty, they're strong, they play aggressive. And that's kind of the spirit of the coach, Scott Skiles.
Yeah, that's right. Now takes it to the basket, draws a foul, he'll shoot 2. That goes all the way back to Jerry Sloan. Remember the old Bulls back in the original Bulls?
Norm Van
Leer. Even Bobby Weiss. And that's the way this guy played. Scott Skiles once had 30 assists in a basketball game when he played in Orlando.
He was a gritty player who knew how to play the game, but he was kind of a poster child for a minute there for doing a couple of bad things.
Yeah,
he's straightened up his act, and he's been a model citizen since then.
Well, they used to call him a coach on the floor, and so it was predicted that he would be a basketball coach, and he started in the summer leagues and worked his way up, got a chance with Phoenix, took them to a couple of playoffs. He won 60% of his games in Phoenix. A couple of good seasons there. But I think he had more of a veteran team, and they didn't like his style as much. These young Bulls thrive on him. Nocioni leans in for a 3. So Andres Nocioni hits another three-pointer. That's his second. He has 11 points. He and Othello Harrington, the only 2 Bulls in double figures. Harrington has 12. 52-49 Chicago. Juwan Howard. Juwan goes away from the double team, and a tough shot. He went under Othello Harrington.
Great move by the veteran Juwan Howard with the old up and under move.
Yeah.
Should have been a foul, Bill. Should have been an and 1.
1-point lead by Chicago. Heinrich. Chris Duhan down to Sangaya. Boy, work the ball nicely, don't they?
They have a sense of purpose in their offense, and they execute it extremely well.
54-51. They've got a lot of effort guys out there, too. Nocioni, Harrington, Sungaya. Those guys will get right up in your face. Heinrich. Chris Duham with a great pass inside. And Sungaya, bodies flying. Foul is on Juwan Howard. We have a timeout on the court, 5:26 left to play in the third quarter, and the Bulls are up by 3. (54-51) Chicago.
He's the best mascot in the league.
That's it. Darius Sungaya gets the first free throw. He'll have one more. Many guys, and you know there have been a lot of guys not just play international competition and come over here, but come over here and go to school. He played in the junior program in Lithuania and then came over and played here at Wake Forest.
And everywhere he's gone, he's been a very dependable, very solid player coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's fronting Yao Ming now, and they have found that to be effective in the past. So they're using his quickness. David Wesley is open, gets the shot, it goes. Do you count it? Yes, count it.
Yes.
I think they called an illegal defense on the Bulls, but if you're in the act of shooting, you call off the illegal defense and the basket counts. So they call the violation off, the basket counts. Scott's going to talk about it. But that's the way the rule is. If the whistle is for the illegal defense and the basket is being shot, then if the basket goes in, it counts. Can't take it away.
I like it, especially when it works in the Rockets' favor.
Exactly. 4 for 9 behind the arc now by the Houston Rockets. Fella Harrington, left elbow, good. Boy, Juwan Howard came out and challenged the shot at the last minute. Good defense. Wesley takes a dribble all the way through the lane. Derek Anderson takes a little trip through there. Back to Juwan Howard. Howard working to the middle, back to the right, off the glass, missed it. A lot of contact. That Sungaya just attracts physicality. Drops it down inside. What a tough shot by Othello Harrington. The smallest center to ever play at Georgetown. All the rest of them were in the 7-foot range.
But they all had something in common, Bill. It's that ugly jump hook.
Patrick Ewing, Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo, Othello Harrington. There's Juwan with the offensive rebound. Puts the hook up, and that's short. Sungaya got down the court, beat Yao Ming down the court, and got it up off the glass for 2. That's just outright hustle. And now the Bulls trying to pull away, up by 6. Derek Anderson has it blocked. And a foul call on Yao Ming, and Yao thought he was pulled out.
I tell you, this Bulls team is a very feisty, aggressive, defensive-minded team.
He's got his arm wrapped around him and pulled him down. That's pretty good play by Sungaya.
Good acting job.
Yeah. And he got a foul called on Yao. Ben Gordon. Look at that. Some kind of shooter. A 10-3 run by the Bulls. Jeff Van Gundy has to call a timeout. Every one of these games we have talked about in this 6-game losing streak, the Rockets have been outscored at some stretch. And right now the Bulls are jumping out there in the lead. 22nd timeout.
I think now's the time for the Houston Rockets to establish a certain rhythm as they head into the fourth period, 3 minutes left in the third, to try to take control of this game, Bill. not let it come down to the wire, because we've come up on the short end of most of those games.
Well, Clyde, the Rockets don't get easy shots because, you know, a lot of their shots are contested. There has to, when you become a jump shooting team, there has to be a couple of times during a game when they're not going to fall for you. And that's when the Rockets are losing their momentum.
Absolutely. They go on those dry runs, and it enables the other team to kind of get an advantage, take the lead, even on their home court. We're shooting 39% from the field.
That says 30.
Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses?
Well, I'll get you some later. You know, you guys don't want to admit you have to wear them until a couple of years after you really need them. I was there once.
I'm in denial.
I know it. I was for several years. Look at that.
There it is.
30% shooting. How are you even in the game? You know, they're only down by 8 points, shooting 30%.
Their defense has been good for the most part.
Now they're 18 of 20 from the free throw line.
But you've got to make shots, Bill.
Well, let's see what they do now. Luther Head, Wesley in the backcourt. Juwan Howard sets that pick. Luther Head back outside to David. Every shot being covered up by the Bulls. Don't get a good look. 5 seconds. Down to 4. Down to 3. Somebody's got to take it. There it is. Juwan Howard floats it up. It was contested all the way. Dikembe out-hustled by Sungaya for the rebound. And the quickness, the young legs of the Bulls now starting to assert themselves. There's Ben Gordon in and out. Won't go. Good look on that jump shot.
Gordon is known to be a second-half player, Bill. He can put up big numbers in the second half alone.
Well, they play him almost all the way in the second half. Nice pass. Howard for 2 off the glass. Eric Anderson, good job of finding him. 62-56. 2:22 left in the third. Bilal Dang in the game to Harrington. Othella bumps off Juwan Howard. Othella Harrington has come back to Houston. He's got 16 points in 17 minutes to lead the Bulls.
That's pretty good production coming off the bench.
Wesley down to 5 seconds again on the shot clock and forced to take a bad shot. Eric Duhan back on the offense. Down to Sungaya. Duhan with a three-pointer. And the Bulls now with their biggest lead of the game, 11 points. 15-5 run by Chicago. Again, Sungaya clogging up the middle there for Chicago, and he's caught for the foul. And we have a timeout on the court with 1:11 left in the third quarter, and the Bulls now starting to pull away. 11-point lead by the Bulls with 1:11 left to play in the third. Time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch. And Yao Ming with 16 points, 5 rebounds. 5 points, 6 rebounds. Tyson Chandler got in early foul trouble in the first few minutes of this game. A very aggressive Yao Ming sent him to the bench, but they've done quite well with a smaller Othella Harrington in there. Harrington leading the Bulls with 16 points. Yao twisted that ankle. And Lonnie Baxter is going to get some playing time, and you were wondering just a moment ago where he was. There he is.
We have not seen much of Lonnie Baxter this season.
Well, the Bulls drafted him, didn't they?
Absolutely. Came into the league as a Bull. Lonnie is a formidable player who comes off the bench and gives you a lot of energy, Bill. And against a team like the Bulls, where they like to use shorter, quicker guys, I thought he'd be a great matchup for Othello or Nocioni or Sungaya.
Lonnie had a great collegiate career, won an NCAA championship with the University of Maryland, and came out of there quite heralded. He just hasn't been able to find the spot. He's been on several teams now the last couple of years, but he looked pretty good in the summer for Houston. Look at Ben Gordon. Wow.
Mr. Fourth Quarter. That's his nickname.
That ball brings rain, doesn't it?
He shoots it with
Gets it up in the air.
ultimate confidence.
Lonnie trying to move her head, taking it inside. Swift has it. A foul is whistled on Chicago. Luol Deng with his first foul of the game. That's the 15th foul on Chicago with just over 44 seconds left in the third, and Luther Head will go to the line. Luther led the team with a career-high 8 assists at Memphis last night. That doubled his previous high of 4 against Phoenix. And he's also had the first double-double of his career against Phoenix. He had 15 points, pulled down 10 rebounds in that game. He'll stick his nose in there, won't he?
He's not afraid, and he's getting career highs in points, rebounds, assists, and when he learns to put it together and be a little bit more consistent in each category, I think he's going to be quite a player here.
10-point lead by Chicago, and a foul is called on Luther Head. Second foul on Luther. Both teams in the penalty for the final just about 39 seconds. Ben Gordon played with Emeka Okafor at UConn and won a national championship there. Drafted by Chicago. Oh, he was Mr. Outside, Okafor inside.
Pretty good combination there, Bill.
Nocioni will come back in for Sungaila. Some good minutes for Darius.
Hey, they come in and they assert themselves.
They give you a lot of energy, don't they?
They really do. They give you everything they have because they don't know how long they're going to play.
That's a good point.
So they're out there hustling every minute.
Look at the bench points.
Oh, my goodness.
37-8. Of course, the Bulls bench may be better than the starter. And as they get older, Luther Head in and out won't go, and the tip-in won't go in. Swift thought he got hit right. No, he did. He's holding his right eye. This Bulls team gets a little more age. They're going to be hard to handle. They don't have an inside game, and that's what's going to hurt them down the stretch. Gordon had to force one up. Got it to go in, and that's the end of the third quarter. Chicago ended the quarter on a 19-9 run in the last 6 minutes to take charge of the game. Here we go to the final 12 minutes. Rockets got to get it going. They have only 60 points after 3. Welcome back to the Toyota Center in downtown Houston as we head to the fourth quarter. I'm Bill Worrell, along with Hall of Famer Clyde Drexler and Bart Ennis. And Clyde watching this slow-paced game after all of those years of running and gunning on the court with Portland and then with Houston.
It's always an interesting dynamic of the game.
Wow, dang. Wide open, looked like he'd come out early for practice. 12 of Chicago's 27 points in the third quarter came in the paint. Houston had only 2 points in the paint in the third quarter. And Chicago forcing the Rockets to take the long-range shot, and Houston shooting only 29%.
It's tough to win ball games, Bill, when you just are not putting the ball in the basket.
That's the name of the game, isn't it? That's why they put it up there. You got to put the ball in the basket to win. And a foul called on Lonnie Baxter. It's kind of like baseball, Clyde, when you don't hit. You know, you just kind of sit around. Everybody goes.
You can have great pitching, but if you cannot hit the ball,
you can't score.
It's a tough game.
So Lonnie didn't stay in very long. He comes to the bench. Yao Ming comes back in. Ryan Bowen's going to check in. And David Wesley is about to come in. So Bowen's always instant energy when he comes in. And Stromile Swift will go out. Mucci will go out. Wesley will come in. So it'll be Luther Head, David Wesley, Yao Ming, Ryan Bowen, and Derek Anderson. Well, Dang had a great game in San Antonio last night. 17 minutes, 6 points, 4 rebounds for Dang tonight. Back way off Bowen. Yao checks the shot clock. Turns, baseline jump. Oh, yeah, good little baby hook.
Baby hook by Yao. And finally gets one to go down.
It looks so nice when he released that.
It was in his rhythm. There's no double team.
And Gordon trying to force it in. Yao Ming steals it. Luther Head's got to beat Nocioni. Goes to his right, and it's blocked by Gordon. And Ryan Bowen comes out of there with a basketball.
And that's what Ryan Bowen does. He gives you the extra effort, the energy, the second chances.
Luther Head with a three. Oh, get in there, it won't go. But the Rockets run down the rebound, a fresh 24. Try it again, Luther. This time it will. Oh. Yeah! You know he's a 50% three-point shooter. He's going to get 1 out of 2. He did, and Chicago calls a timeout. Here come the Rockets. And it's 75-65. Luther Head with his third three-pointer of the game. He has 11. Well, over at Hopeyes tonight, Tom Penders and the Cougars are playing Virginia Commonwealth. And looks like he's got a pretty good squad.
He's got him off to a good start. Yeah. I like what he's doing.
Got some runners and gunners. There's a turnover by Chicago. Now the Rockets have the crowd back in the game now. They can string a couple of baskets together. 10-point leads don't last a long time in the NBA. You get hot.
Especially with this Bulls team, because they spend no time getting off shots.
Turnover. So you're saying that they can shoot you in a game or out of a game?
Absolutely. They have one rhythm, and that's to play fast and quick. They can shoot you in it, or they can let you back in it with they hit a cold spell.
Well, Dang got trapped in the corner, gets it right back from Chandler. Nocioni, one extra pass to Heinrich. Heinrich takes it to the basket. Contact, no whistle. Bodies fly. Out of the pack comes David Wesley. Derek Anderson looked like he may have turned an ankle as he limps down to the other end. He'll set up Yao Ming. Yao turns inside. Back the other way. What a move by Yao. Oh, man.
Wonderful move by Yao Ming. Spinning.
This looked like an old Clyde Drexler move.
By a 7'6" center.
Yeah.
That shows you the versatility of Yao Ming.
That's even more amazing. Points now. Dang. Misses the jumper. Ball is loose. Look at that Ryan Bowen. He'll get every loose ball there is. Here comes Luther Head. Luther on the drive. Luther to the basket. And he's fouled on the play. He'll shoot 2. Well, one thing you love about these Rockets, there is no give up in these guys. Let's take a look at tonight's Wachovia Bank moment. And watch this move again, Clyde.
Oh, just a great spin move by Yao. They cut him off. He goes back the other way, and he knocks it down. Just perfection.
Yes, it is. We've got a timeout on the court. 8:35 left to play. Rockets are making a run. Well, apparently it wasn't time for a timeout. He signaled when Luther Head went inside that he was going up for the shot, I thought. But now they're going to say he wasn't shooting.
He was in the act of shooting, Bill. How could that not be a shot?
Well, each team with one team foul now. The Rockets have the basketball. They need to score here. Over to Yao. Double team now on Yao. Yao turns. Shoots it. Got it. Yao Ming has caught fire, and so have the Rockets. Yao Ming with 22 points. Houston on a 9-0 run. 75-69. That 15-point lead is now down to only 6. And a whistle. And a foul called on the Rockets. Ryan Bowen.
I think Ryan overran the pursuit coming from the weak side. And Sweetney was able, well, here's Yao in the replay, turnaround jumper, nothing but net. We know he's capable of doing that.
Well, Mike Sweetney will have a couple of free throws. He is a 70% free throw shooter. The Bulls have missed 7 free throws. They're shooting 68%. They're number 19 in the NBA in free throw shooting. Rockets are 22 of 24. And that's 1 out of 2. 76-69 now Chicago. The Rockets have to sustain this run, and they've been going to Yao Ming successfully. Boy, he rides him right out of the post. Now Yao's got position. Sweetney right behind him, all over him. Takes it inside and a whistle. And that's going to be a defensive 3-second violation on Chicago. Nocioni was not anywhere near his man for the entire possession. He finally got caught.
No, he's zoning it up on the weak side.
Eric Anderson.
Which is what every team will try and get away with. They want to have as many people in the paint to try to defend Yao Ming.
Especially when he gets on a roll like this now, you've got to try to, he's scored on his last 3 possessions. Luther Head gives it right back to Yao. Sweetney's behind him. Here comes the double team. Oh, a turnover. Wesley lost the ball. 2-on-1 fast break. A basket by Chris Duhon. Big turnover.
Big turnover there.
78-70 again, an 8-point lead by Chicago. Right back to Yao again, and he is fouled on the play. Boy, he's playing basically on one leg. He really twisted that ankle if you joined us late, right before the half. He's been playing in obvious pain, but boy, with a lot of guts.
Plays with a lot of heart.
Yeah.
He is a winner, Bill. He gives you everything he has every single night.
Well, he had every excuse in the world because he really was in agony. And from the free throw line, he's 10 of 12. He's missed 2 out of 12 attempts. He'll have 1 more. But playing through the pain is part of life in the NBA, isn't it, Clyde?
Absolutely.
Did you ever play in a game where you were 100%?
I don't recall any at all. You're injured 90-95% of the time, and when you're healthy, you feel so good you don't really know how to handle it.
And a turnover by Chicago. 7:09 left to play in the game. The Rockets making one final run. Let's see if they can get all the way back. They're down by 7. Duhon coming out on Wesley. Heinrich chasing Luther Head. Double team on Luther. Derek Anderson on the point. Did you see Yao directing the ball? Yao wants it. Yao puts it up for 2 and he's fouled. Yao Ming taking over the game.
Here's Yao going to the basket strong, taking the ball to the hoop at its finest. And he gets the N1, and look at Yao. Did you see that? The big fella is excited.
He's been so frustrated lately because with the absence of Tracy McGrady, you take away that threat, and they have really been closing in on him, and he's having a beautiful 4th quarter.
And he's doing what he's supposed to do, take over the game.
10 points now by Yao Ming in the 4th quarter, 26 in the game. And that's a new season high for Yao Ming, 26 points. Nocioni from the corner hits. 80-74, a 6-point game.
I tell you, Bill, they don't spend much time on the shot clock.
No.
It doesn't get down too far when the Bulls get the ball.
Luther Head on the drive, tried to force it up. No whistle. Heinrich gets it up the floor in a hurry. Over to Duhon. Good pick up by Luther Head. They're going to go down to Sweetney. Sweetney turns, tries to shoot it over Yao. That's fruitless. And the rebound to Wesley. David Wesley. Quickly, Derek Anderson. Anderson for 2. Boy, the play of Yao Ming has rubbed off on the rest of the Rockets. And there's a foul. Anderson's hurt.
He's limping badly.
He went up for that last shot. He had been hurt prior to that. It looked like he had tweaked something.
He was well enough to make that shot, though, Bill.
Yeah.
That made it feel a little bit better.
Well, Chicago's going to try to get Tyson Chandler back into the game to strengthen that middle. But there is Derek Anderson, and he goes down hard. We'll check on his condition. We've got a timeout. Rockets down by... Rockets were once down by 15 points. They've rallied back to trail by only 4, and it's been Yao Ming with 10 points in the fourth quarter. The Rockets are just getting on his broad shoulders.
And this is what I expected from Yao when Tracy McGrady went down. There he is, going left and right, whirling dervish, nothing but net, the jump hook, the turnaround jumper, now the strong move to the basket, and Yao has taken over the game and gotten the Rockets back into contention in the fourth period.
Yeah, he really has, and he's playing through that pain of that injured ankle that was stepped on right before the half. He's just gutted it up and playing hard. Now Tyson Chandler is back into the game now as the Bulls want to try to slow Yao down. And Ryan Bowen with a foul on Gordon. That's the second on Bowen, but more importantly, the 14th foul on the Rockets. So the next foul by Houston, they'll be in the penalty. 5:45 left to play. Bulls still have a foul to give. Oceani throws it away.
Great defensive series by the Houston Rockets.
Now let's see if Chandler makes a little difference guarding Yao Ming. He's a 7-footer, but he has 4 fouls. Now it's giving him some problems. Chandler's a good shot blocker. Luther head back to Wesley. Wesley back out to Luther's going to fire it up. Luther head in and out, won't go. Tough luck shot. It was a good one, though. He was open. When a guy makes 50% from that range, you got to let him go.
You got to shoot that one. Look good. Just didn't go down.
Crowd wants defense. Oceani on the drive. Tried to force it up. Knocked out of bounds by Chandler, and the Rockets get it back. Good defense by Houston.
I like the energy, Bill. The Rockets have gotten the crowd into this game.
Yeah.
And it certainly makes a difference. The Bulls are turning the ball over, taking bad shots, and giving the Rockets an opportunity to get back in this game.
80-76, 4:55, still a bunch of time left to play. Luther head wide open, and an offensive foul is called on Yao Ming. And that's his 5th foul of the game. I wish Luther would have shot that ball.
He's wide open.
Wide open.
When you're wide open and you're shooting 50% from the three-point line, I would think you have to at least look at the basket.
Well, he missed his last one, and I guess he wanted to get the ball into Yao Ming. Yao was triple covered. There's Nocioni with a miss, and it's tipped over by Wesley. A smart heads-up play by David. Still a 4-point game. 4:33 and counting left to play.
Get it into Yao.
Tyson Chandler fronting Yao Ming. Now Yao's got position. Gets it right back from Anderson. Spins inside. Puts it up. Got it! Yao Ming with 5 buckets in a row. 12 points in the quarter. 80-78. The Rockets have roared back from down by 15 points. Crowd wants defense. Gordon with a 3. Oh, he can break your heart.
He is a big shot maker, Bill.
Ben Gordon shoots 39% from behind the arc. Shoots about 50% in crunch time.
Well, that's 60, but he is a danger.
Yao again. Yao takes it in on Chandler. Puts it up again. Yao Ming. He is just completely taken over. 14 points in the fourth quarter. 30 points in the game for Yao Ming. And that's a new season high. Heinrich will take the 3. Missed it. Yao with a rebound. The Rockets can tie with a 3-pointer.
I say get it into Yao and let them show that they can stop him.
Get out of the way.
Absolutely.
foul on Tyson Chandler. That's the 4th team foul on the Bulls, and it's the 5th foul on Tyson Chandler.
Here it is. Yao fighting for position. Tyson Chandler with the strong arm move.
Last time I saw something like that, I was over in Japan watching sumo wrestling.
These big guys are good at it. They have a knack for it.
Well, they both have 5 fouls. The Rockets have closed to within only 3. Yao Ming with a season high, 30 points in this game, 14 in the 4th quarter. Chicago had its largest lead of 15 points with 11 and a half minutes left. Since then, Houston has gone on a 20-8 run. The crowd really in it now. And the Rockets down by 3 with possession of the ball. 14 seconds on the shot clock for Houston. Lutherhead trying to get it down to Yao Ming. I think that play was set up for Yao to get it out to a 3-point shooter, the way they were spaced.
I'm not sure, Bill. That one, he's going to work at the low block. I'd say get it to him at the low block and let him prove that they could stop him.
That's 12 turnovers now by Houston, only 10 turnovers by Chicago. Duhan with a miss, and Nocioni comes out of there with a loose ball, and that's a big offensive rebound for the Bulls. Then Gordon giving it back to Heinrich. Nocioni on the drive on Ryan Bowen. Good cover up by Ryan. Nocioni no place to go. Has to shoot an impossible shot, and it went in. He had no other choice. He was behind the glass when he released it.
That was a stroke of luck there, Bill.
That's the way it's been going for the Rockets. 5-point game, 2:18 left to play. Going back to Yao again. Yao, nice pass to Derek Anderson. And it's back to a 3-point game. Rockets need a shutdown on D.
Of course, they got to get the rebound. No second chance opportunities.
Ben Gordon in the corner. Ben Gordon shoots it, and he's fouled by Lutherhead. Ooh. That was close to being a 3. Was that? So that's the 3rd foul on Lutherhead. Ben Gordon wants 3 free throws here.
Of course he does.
He thought he was shooting a 3-pointer. If you'd like the latest Rockets information emailed right to your computer desktop, Rockets e-Blastoff includes team news, game notes, ticket information, special promotions, and more. And to sign up, just go to Rockets.com, follow the link to be a Rockets insider. And Ben Gordon misses the free throw. He's only a 76% free throw shooter. The Bulls have missed 8 free throws. Missed them both. And the rebound goes to Houston. Still a 3-point game. Now coming out high to set a pick. Wants to post up. Tyson Chandler's got him wrapped up. Wesley drives around the pick, leans in. Oh, the basket counts, and he's fouled. A 3-point opportunity to tie the game.
Great move by the veteran, David Wesley here. Here he has the open jumper, but he leans in to draw the contact from Heinrich, and he knocks it down and gets an opportunity for a 3-point play.
David with 12, looking for 13. What a comeback by Houston. The Bulls call a timeout. The Rockets have come all the way back from 15 points down with a 25-10 run. Listen to this crowd in the Toyota Center. Clyde, I've talked about it all season long. You're playing without your best player, Tracy McGrady. You've lost some heartbreaking games. Yet this team has played hard the entire way. They had every reason to chunk it in when they were down by 15.
Every reason, but I look at Yao Ming, Bill. Look at him. The fourth quarter that he's had is kind of a character builder for this team. He had a chance. He was injured. He could have sat down and watched the rest of the game, and no one would have said anything. But he came fighting back just like his teammates, and he's now in this game and have a chance to win it. And that's what he has been to this team in this particular game. He has been an inspiration.
He really has. He had only 14 points at halftime. He had that ankle badly twisted. He went to the locker room, and he has just exploded in the fourth quarter.
There he is with the jump hook, going baseline, again with the jump hook. They have no answer with the turnaround jumper. He's scoring from all angles, but mostly from the low block. There you see him with the strong move going to the basket. And here he is again.
Watch his pass.
Oh, great pass to Derek Anderson for the layup. He creates so much attention that some of his teammates get opportunities because of that. And, of course, the last shot by David Wesley, which tied the ball game. And now the crowd is all excited, Bill.
And this is what worries teams around the league. If Yao Ming ever starts to play like this every night, the Rockets are going to be alone.
I think this is what everyone expected from Yao Ming when Tracy McGrady went down.
Listen to this crowd.
You got to love it.
All right, Rockets need a stop. 1:36 left to play. Defense. Heinrich is fouled going to the basket. Again, penetration has been the enemy of the Rockets all season long. Those guards penetrating. And Yao Ming has just fouled out of the game.
There seems to be some confusion on the court.
Well, he's got 30 seconds to replace Yao Ming, and I don't know why they're getting so excited. He fouled out. He's got 30 seconds. He's saying, well, bad thing is the penetration cost Yao Ming his sixth foul, and the defense brought him out on the perimeter where I don't think he should have been.
I don't think Yao should have been at the top of the key, having a chance to go back to the basket. And then it's just a bad defensive possession. Heinrich made all of the great moves, and that's what happened when you get your guards going to the basket, creating penetrating situations for their teams. You get everyone else in foul trouble.
Not being able to make the key play down the stretch, and the guards again penetrating. Heinrich hasn't really hurt. He missed. That's another big miss. The Bulls have missed 3 free throws in a row here down the stretch. Let's see if the Rockets can tie it with a 2 or take the lead with a 3. Romile Swift turns inside over Tyson Chandler. Missed it. Got it back. Look at the hustle by Swift. Fresh 24 for Houston. Swift looking to take it back up. He missed it. Tipped up again. Tipped up again. And Tyson Chandler has it. 1 minute left to play. A 2-point lead by the Bulls.
The Rockets desperately need a stop here, Bill.
Gordon again, all the way to the basket. Unbelievable. The Rockets have allowed the Chicago guards to go uncontested for 2 back-to-back layups. Well, offense got them back in it. Their defense has let them down. Four-point lead by the Bulls, 46 left. Tonight's Landry Signature Group Player of the Game, Yao Ming, who led the Rockets back. He finished with a season-high 30 points, 6 rebounds, 14 points in the fourth quarter. But he fouled out of the game, and the Rockets gave up back-to-back layups right after he fouled out.
And I don't think Yao Ming is very happy about it. He's such a competitor, Bill.
Well, the Rockets have to score. That's all there is. They got to.
Not over yet.
Possession.
Plenty of time.
Anderson to Luther Head. Head gives it up to Swift, and he's fouled by Tyson Chandler, and he will exit stage left. That's his 6th foul of the game. So Stromile Swift will be at the line. 40 seconds left. And a chance to get the Rockets within 2. So now the very thing Scott Skiles was complaining about a moment ago, he's taking 30 seconds to replace his player. I don't understand. Scott got a little confused there, I think.
He's typical of NBA coaches. They have selective memory.
He knew what the rule was.
Absolutely.
Well, now the Rockets will be back. Stromile Swift is a 64% free throw shooter. So it's going to be difficult to coax 2 free throws out of him here unless career-wise he's over 70%. Let's see if he can get a couple of good ones.
Not a better time to do it than now.
Stromile got his start tonight. Nice release.
Nice release. Nothing but net. We need another.
9 points for Swift, going for 10. He's got 7 rebounds and a block. Got it. All right, now the Rockets need a stop. 89-87 Bulls. Crowd wants defense. I do too. Heinrich cut off at the pass with a double team. Keeps his dribble alive. Down low to Nocioni for another layup. 3 layups in a row for Chicago. They haven't even had to take a long shot.
That's hard to imagine.
Luther head now. 14 seconds left. Luther misses on a 3. Heinrich with a rebound, and that could be the killer. 10 seconds left to play. They're going to have to foul Ben Garden. And the Rockets with a great opportunity to come from way behind and win the game. And there's a very frustrated Yao Ming.
Very frustrated. This is a game that I think he put a lot of heart and soul in this game, Bill. He was injured, came back, played with some inspiration and sort of a renewed motivation, and took over the game, got him back into contention, and then fouled out, unfortunately. And I'm sure it hurts.
His finest hour, I think, with that injury to his ankle, and he looked like he might not play in the second half. What a fourth quarter. 14 points in the fourth. He led the Rockets back. They were down by 15. But the defense of the Rockets, after he fouled out, just completely collapsed. They gave up 3 layups in a row to Chicago.
Unbelievable. It's a game of, I say, stops.
Yeah, you got to have stops down the stretch, and Stromile will dunk it home at the finish. So it's a tough loss now. The Rockets are going to go to 3-11 early in the season. The Bulls will go to 6-5. More importantly, the Rockets are now 2-10 in games without Tracy McGrady. And
just shows you how valuable Tracy McGrady is to this team.
And you're hoping that you can get him back next Tuesday. Atlanta comes into Toyota Center next Tuesday, November 29th. Then the Rockets will get 3 days off before playing Memphis. And then Boston will come in the following Tuesday. So they've got 3 home games in a row with a chance to get Tracy back into the lineup and get going again. It's going to be an uphill struggle to get back to 500.
It's going to be a long season. But it's early in the season, Bill. If anybody can do it, this Rocket team can do it. Because they actually have legitimate stars. And Tracy McGrady, missing Tracy McGrady is a huge part of your team.
Yep. So the Chicago Bulls come into San Antonio and Houston and win back-to-back games. You can't say you do that very often when you come down here and do the Texas two-step, but the Bulls did it, and they defeat the Rockets 94-89. Tune in for our next telecast Tuesday night when the Rockets host the Atlanta Hawks. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock on FSN Houston. Stay tuned. The Busch Light Southwest Sports Report is next.
Time now to head back to the Toyota Center. We told you at the top of the show, the Houston Rockets The Houston Rockets dropping their 7th straight game. And let's take you back and show you how it was done. Jeff Van Gundy trying to snap that 6-game losing streak to a hot Chicago Bulls team. First quarter, Juwan Howard with the backdoor alley-oop from Stromiles Swift, I should say. Rockets trailed by 5 after 1. Then in the second, Ben Gordon with the fancy dribbling, and he hits the jumper. And it was 44 all at the half. Then in the third, Chris Duhon drives baseline and finds Air Gordon, who hits the corner three. Bulls up 3 after 11. They would go up by 15, but the Rockets would come back. 25 to 10 run. That's part of it right there. Yao Ming gets the shot and the foul. But less than a minute to go, the Bulls up 2. Gordon takes it all the way to the rack for the lay-in. And despite that comeback, the Houston Rockets fall in this one 94 to 89. That snaps, I should say, a 5-game winning streak over the Bulls and extends the Rockets' 6-game losing streak now to 7. And it's been a tough stretch for the Houston Rockets. And two guys that know that all too well are the guys that called tonight's game, Bill Worrell and Clyde Drexler. Guys, is it even more heartbreaking the way this one happened, the way they came back from down big and then lose it in the end?
Well, it's tough, Emily. There are a lot of pluses, of course, if you're a positive basketball coach. The fact that you did come back, the fact that Yao Ming got 14 in the fourth quarter and led the comeback with 30 points, but you don't make the plays down the stretch to win the game.
No, you did make the plays down the stretch, and you gave up layups to enable them to take the lead. The last 3 points scored by the Bulls in regulation were layups, and you just can't allow that in a tough game on your home court.
Now they've hoped for the Houston Rockets. They don't play again until Tuesday. They go Tuesday, Saturday, then the following Tuesday. So they're hoping to get Tracy McGrady back Tuesday, and that would be a big help because the morale's a little low right now.
I'd say the morale is low, losing 7 games in a row and have had a chance to win all 7 games basically.
Yeah.
And you come out on the short end. There's nothing better than getting your best player back on the court. Everyone else will feel a lot better with Tracy McGrady back in uniform.
As you said earlier, the season is still young, so the Rockets have to get going, and maybe they can start next Tuesday when they get Tracy McGrady back.
No, we don't. We won't guard a pick and roll. I don't care where it is. All I think about from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep is how can I get my big guys to play with the awareness and the aggressiveness and the intensity it takes to defend pick and rolls. And I have yet to find something that will alert them, their antenna up, and we just continually look as if we've never drilled, walked through, coached playing pick and roll defense. It's like we're out there just making it up.